Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Keep It Kula Podcast. My name is Jacqueline, and this is episode 41. Right away, I'm going to go into some breaking news. It has been confirmed that Matthew Stafford will not be coming to the Giants as he has decided to stay with the Los Angeles Rams. It was just reported this morning. So that means Stafford is sticking with the Rams, most likely going to finish out his career there. He's in his late 30s. It's probably the right idea for him. I don't see him leaving LA. I don't know why you would want to. So he's sticking with the Rams. Now, with that being said, obviously I have my Giants gear here, big Giants fan. What is the Giants move going into it? So Rodgers was one of the top names that Giants were interested a little bit here and there, considering they don't have a quarterback. And now, with Stafford officially saying that he's staying with the Rams, the Giants are actually showing heavy interest in Rodgers. I don't know how I feel about that. I grew up being a really big Rodgers fan when he was on the Packers. I really loved watching him. My dad and I actually went to Detroit because we're very close to Detroit, being in Toronto. We drove down to Detroit just to watch Rodgers play on the Packers. Obviously, there's been stuff with him in the past couple of years that, I don't really love stuff he says outside of football. But other than that, I really loved watching him play. He was one of my all-time favorite players to watch. Him being on the Giants sounds pretty crazy to me, but it kind of does make sense. Signing a one-year deal worth not a ton of money could be a really good move for the Giants, and even drafting quarterback with their first round pick. The Giants currently have the third pick overall, and there is a chance that they will be going with a quarterback, whether it's Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward or even Jackson Dart, but that would be in the later picks, I think. Having a veteran quarterback could be a really great thing. Rodgers had that obviously with Brett Favre. Tom Brady obviously had that with Bledsoe. The greats have had that, so it could be a really good idea bringing in Rodgers and having a young quarterback play behind him. However, though, some of these guys probably wouldn't want that, right? Their egos are really, really big, considering the kind of money and fame that they have in college nowadays is very different than it was a decade ago. They come in with these big egos and that it's their team, they're the star. So the idea of bringing in someone like Sanders and having him sit on the bench for maybe a whole year doesn't sound that appealing to him or his father, Deion Sanders, who obviously has a lot of talk and a lot of power in the NFL. So I'm not so sure how that's going to work, but if it was my choice and if I knew that everyone would be cool with it, I would sign Rodgers to a one-year deal worth not a ton of money and draft Sanders with the third pick overall. All right, continuing with football, it was also revealed this week that Abdul Carter, aka the potential number one pick in the draft, is dealing with a bit of an injury that could require surgery. The reports indicate that he suffered a stress reaction in his foot that could require surgery, whether he wants it or not. So, considering it's not mandatory to have the surgery, we don't really know if he's going to want it or not. And what does this mean for the draft? When this was reported, I was seeing some people on Twitter saying that this is just an excuse to fall in the draft, to be drafted by a contender like the Eagles. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of guys want to be a lottery pick. I think it's a dream come true to build a team from the ground instead of joining a contender like that. I think whatever he does is just gonna be what's best for his career and his future, right? Defensive players don't have the longest careers, obviously, and an injury like this right away also isn't a great sign. However, I don't think he's gonna do anything to fall in the draft. I think he wants to go number one. But I guess we'll see if he decides to have surgery or not, and what that means going into the draft. So now moving on, I have some WNBA to talk about right now, as WNBA legend Diana Taurasi has announced her retirement from the league. I have her stats up right here. She finishes her career as the all-time leading scorer, as the all-time leading three-point shooter, as having the second most games played, fourth most assists. She is an 11-time WNBA All-Star, a 3-time WNBA champion, the 2009 WNBA MVP, and she also has the most technical fouls of all time. She will always be remembered as one of the best players, one of the most iconic players, one of the funniest players sometimes, a bit of a dirty player here and there, but she is forever a legend and paved the way for so many stars. All right, and continuing with basketball, let's go into the NBA. It's been really, really great lately. Basketball has been awesome. Getting ready for the playoffs. Not quite yet, but it's coming up soon. Last night's game against the Lakers and Wolves was pretty much a blowout for a lot of it until the end. But Anthony Edwards, aka the potential new face of the NBA, got a technical foul, aka his 16th technical foul of the year, and he was kicked out of the game and he's suspended for 1 game. After this happened, he actually threw the ball in the stands, which was kind of weird to see, but it was kind of funny as well. Anthony Edwards is not a guy who wants to be the face of the NBA, but people want him to. And as a fan, I want him to be the NBA because the face of the NBA because he is just so much fun to watch, and he just has everything that it is to be a star. Right? A lot of these guys, we're not seeing guys like Jordan and LeBron anymore. We're seeing guys who are kind of soft. Well, people consider LeBron kind of soft, but he wasn't early in his career, at least. Anthony Edwards is not soft whatsoever. He's a winner. He really wants to win. He really cares about the sport. He's the face of the league, and seeing him get ejected in a game and throw the ball out and be suspended for a game as well isn't the best look, but he's going to do what he wants to do, and there's nothing we can do about that. All right, so that's all the sports talk that I have for today, but I actually do want to shift a little bit to some movie talk. The Oscars are actually coming up this Sunday night. I'm filming this on Friday, and it's coming up in 2 nights, so I'm really, really excited for that. However, I do have to admit I'm not as excited as I used to be. It used to be like the biggest thing for me, and I would watch every movie that there was nominated. So, for example, I watched all Best Picture nominees, and I honestly loved all of them. My favorite of last year was Killers of the Flower Moon. It didn't end up winning anything, but it was my favorite movie of the year. This year, I've only seen 6 out of the 10, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to watch the four remaining, which were The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, I'm Still Here, and Nickel Boys. But I did see Wicked, Dune Part 2, Anora, Amelia Perez, Conclave, and The Substance. So I've seen 6 out of the 10. So my predictions aren't great right now because I haven't seen every performance, but I'm still going to give my predictions right now based on one, who I want to see win, and the other of who I think will win. So right away, Best Picture. That's actually a really tough one because a lot of the sites and predictions and reporters are saying it's going to go to Anora. I loved Anora, but honestly, I have no idea who it's going to go to. I think it's going to be between The Brutalist and Anora. I think those are my two front runners. I personally want to see Anora win. I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. I thought Mikey Madison was just perfect in it. So I would be very happy to see it win. So that's my prediction for Best Picture. I'm going to give it to Anora. Next, I'm going to go into Best Actress. We have Mikey Madison, Demi Moore, Cynthia Erivo, Carla Sofia Gascon, and Fernanda Torres. I saw all those movies except I'm Still Here, so I did not see Fernanda Torres's performance. I don't know if I'm going to see it before Sunday, but as of now, my prediction of who will win is Demi Moore, based on everything that's been going on with award season the past few months. Who do I want to see win though? It's Mikey Madison. I think Mikey Madison gave arguably the best performance that I've seen in years. Anora is a fantastic movie, but it would have been nothing without Mikey. So I would love to see her win, but I would be very, very happy for Demi Moore because she was amazing in The Substance as well. Next, going into Best Actor, we have Timothée Chalamet, we have Ralph Fiennes, we have Adrian Brody, we have Coleman Domingo, and we have Sebastian Stan. I actually only saw one movie on that list, which is Conclave with Ralph Fiennes, so I don't have much to say about who I think will win or who I want to see win necessarily based on what I actually watched. But based on award season, it looks like it will be going to Adrian Brody. However, Timothée Chalamet might be able to slide in there considering he won the SAG last week. So I would really love to see Timothée Chalamet win. My personal favorite performance that I watched this past year, though, was Sebastian Stan, but not in The Apprentice. Sebastian Stan in A Different Man was actually my favorite performance. Unfortunately, it was not nominated for any Oscars other than I think makeup and hairstyling. I think it was the best movie of the year, so I would personally say Sebastian Stan in A Different Man, but it was not nominated, so I'd be happy to see Timothy win. All right, next we have the Oscar for Supporting Actor. So we have Euro Borisov, Kieran Culkin, Edward Norton, Guy Pearce, and Jeremy Strong. I only saw two of those, which was A Real Pain, which I think is a great screenplay, and that's actually my vote for Best Original Screenplay is A Real Pain. Jesse Eisenberg wrote a fantastic screenplay that I loved. I love that movie, and it was a great, great script. But my vote for who I think will win is Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. He was so fantastic. I had chills watching him. He played it so, so well. It was a great movie in total, but he really carried the film. So I think he's going to win, and I'd be very happy to see him win it as well. And then lastly, actress in a supporting role. So we have Monica Barbero for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. So I saw all of these except The Brutalist. So I'm happy that I can actually give a proper opinion on this based on the four that I saw. I really want to see Ariana win. Wicked was so good. That's a whole other episode I'm sure I can do, maybe on a different podcast, maybe on a movie podcast, or maybe on this one as well. I don't know. Wicked was amazing, and Ariana Grande was so perfect for it. I loved her. It was amazing. I'm not just saying that because she's a big star. I'm saying that because she was born for this role. However, I do think Zoe Saldana will win because she has swept every award show, and honestly, she gave an amazing performance as well. I know people have their own opinions about the film, a lot of mixed reviews. I actually got to see it during TIFF, so I got to see it without anyone saying anything. It was a shocking film. I didn't hate it though, I must say. I kind of liked it, but I saw it in a huge theater. I was sitting on the balcony watching it. It was really, really cool, a really cool experience. So maybe that's a part of it as well. But Zoe Saldana was amazing, so I'd be very happy to see her win as well. And I do think that she will win on Sunday. All right, those are all my predictions. So thanks for watching my sports talk and a little bit of movie talk. I hope that's okay with everyone. Well, if it's not, then you don't have to watch the movie stuff. You can just listen to the sports stuff. Or if you don't even care about sports stuff and you want to listen to movie stuff, you can skip ahead and just watch the movie stuff as well. All right, that's gonna do it. Just a quick little wrap up. Stafford is a Ram. Probably will retire with them. Rodgers potentially could be a Giant. I would not be disappointed in that on a 1-year deal. Anthony Edwards got ejected and is suspended. New face of the NBA doesn't really want it, and this kind of shows us a little bit more of that. WNBA legend Diana Taurasi has retired. And then with some football, a little bit more football, Abdul Carter is dealing with an injury which might require surgery, so he might be dropping in the draft. All right, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you soon.